I welcome Mrs. Mona Jain. She is the Chief Revenue Officer of ABP News Group. If anything is need-based today, it's also the news, and because in such circumstances, the news is getting delivered to everyone, and it is an essential commodity that we're dealing with. Welcome. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you,
First of
Dhanyavad.
all, yeah, first of all, I mean, we are getting news from a lot of sources today, and it's not what it used to be 5 years back. Tell me how does it change the dynamics for you as head of revenue when there are so many platforms where news is coming from? What does that mean for you for a TV channel when you have alternatives? How do you go to the brand and say, hey, we are different, then this is why?
First of all, Anirban, just putting perspective on, the medium itself, you obviously you have multiple formats, of consuming of various kind of genres of information or content, and news is also one of them. So I think the good news really is, I would probably want to kind of, reinforce and talk about some numbers. The research has come in very recently that, people were kind of almost kind of giving up on television, saying digital is the new future and all the money is going to kind of shift there. But the good news is that, television is kind of growing in terms of penetration and viewership. So we have, two-thirds of our country kind of penetrated by television, one-third is still remaining. So 100 million households to really go and penetrate further. So I think that's a good part of the business. It's a good news for us. And the viewership growth is just not, in terms of, being in a particular kind of marketplace, but it goes across demographics.
Correct.
So the good thing again is that NCCS A and B, also is kind of showing a very, very healthy, two-digit plus growth in terms of viewership numbers, which is a good news for advertisers. So the television kind of remains and stays on as a powerful media for them to be able to reach out to, to their set of consumers, who have the purchasing power. The penetration also kind of goes beyond, certain marketplaces, which are emerging markets, which are growing markets like a Bihar or a Jharkhand, Assam, and Northeast, and the numbers are, in the double digit. So that's a good, part of, the information. As having said that, we all know that digital undoubtedly, undeniably, undebatably, is actually kind of growing. As a medium, it's becoming extremely relevant and significant for any marketing campaign or, to kind of be part of. That is undeniable. We know there's 11% growth in terms of internet sets in the country. The broadband is available to majority of the audiences who have access to the internet. So therefore, it becomes a viable option for, brands to kind of, have their advertising communication, reaching out to, the audiences from that point of view. Also, we also know that, the spends are also kind of getting, divided. There is money which is getting put on a digital also, it is gaining, obviously, there is a bit of a pressure in terms of print and radio, where maybe that's where really digital gaining is, it spends from. Not so much impacting television really, because it still is the most dominant and the prominent media place and platform to be able to reach out the consumers, the advertisers' information to the consumers.
Correct.
So
You
yes, it's a
mentioned
much more integrated.
Yeah, you mentioned print here. So when you said that the penetration is happening now and it's going into deeper markets, in those markets, print would probably be the dominant player. How do you plan to switch get that money out of print to TV? What would be the USP which will get that happen?
So the print, I think essentially even right now we all know that regional print probably is far more dominant and kind of still
Correct.
penetrating deeper down. But having said that, we know that a lot of movement is happening from print media to the digital media also, and the localized specialized channels and like news, which offers you far more active audio visual impactful kind of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is it's not so difficult to kind of get the money out of out of print, but yes, they're still trying to kind of maintain themselves in terms of numbers, because the reach is there in terms of the revenues. So they are kind of obviously looking into newer formats and newer ways to be able to kind of get the revenues.
Mm-hmm.
So but most of the shift really is happening to digital media, and then the money coming in or getting away out of the television media.
Okay, and as you go deeper, are there new set of advertisers coming and joining you in the pool, or more?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. They have newer categories, For instance, I would say for news channel, I mean, COVID actually kind of, gave a window to a lot of new categories kind of coming and experiencing, the genre, because of the fact we all know that, when pandemic happened, news genres viewership went up tremendously, and also because of the original content was not getting kind of played on to GC, and that's the reason why the numbers for them went down. It became more viable and, more relevant for brands to kind of shift to news. So that's where the audiences really was. news also kind of increased in terms of viewership across demographics. So, it was always kind of seen as, on a genre probably which appealed to the, the male audiences. But COVID actually kind of, was able to introduce to a varied other kind of, segments of demographics, such as the females and, the youth. So there was a lot of shifting of money which happened, even from brands from FMCG categories, which traditionally do not kind of look at news in such a big way. They mostly are on the GC channels or, or movie channels. But once, they were able to shift the money, they experienced the impact that the news actually generated for them, they have kind of stayed on. So FMCG actually has become a critical, growth as far as news genre is concerned. You have gaming, suddenly just emerged as a new category. We all know e-commerce has been growing tremendously. Within FMCGs, you have your health, pharma companies are kind of, really spending huge amount of money in the news in the news channels. So that's where the new categories really have emerged from.
Correct, correct. Now this puts, while we have put everything into perspective, we can go deeper into the topic of discussion. Why is TV safe bet for advertisers? There's a question that has come in, and I think that if you could take it, it says the phrase brand safety is typically used in a digital context. Do we need to come up with a new phrase for the television context? And I club it with the following question. TV is safe for advertisers. Do TV news channels need to invest in B2B marketing to drive that point home? So you can probably answer both of them together.
So, I think television, more so, in terms of, the content being a little uncertain, unpredictable from a digital point of view. We keep hearing of this whole issue of trust factor with digital media. You're not able to control, what the neighborhood is going to be, where your advertising, your communication will be kind of, staying, So there, and also because the fact is that, it is in news in terms of, a lot of information or the news flowing from digital media is it real or not? So in fact, I was in a conversation with one of the advertisers yesterday, and they said that we are not very sure. In fact, I have to give an example. For instance, there was one particular post that I saw from my own network. It was in digital media. And I had to check the editor saying, did we do that? Because I got this query from the client and we did not. It wasn't our news at all. It was completely, absolutely fake. So I think they're more, so they are the ones where probably this particular aspect of credibility, or is it being the right neighborhood, or is it being credible neighborhood or platform to be for the advertise, for the communication. Not so television. Television, I think, still kind of works very well on the trust factor. In fact, I was reading one of the ASCII reports, ISN ASCII report, which says very well, that most of the consumption, or recall, of advertising actually happens while they may be spending money on digital, but actually the trust factor, the credibility factor actually comes far more, from television than actually, and that would be true for news channels also.
Okay.
So why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as we stay with brand safety, news at times tend to get noisy, and it's the nature of the program that we put in. We saw recently when the India-China conflict happened, there were probably Chinese apps sponsoring that event where China and its foreign policy was getting bashed. How do you tackle with such scenario, and how do you promise your brand that when such things happen, we probably have a layer to ensure you the safety, which does not exist in other mediums, unlike TV?
So I think that was a very unfortunate, episode. You actually had a content or a program which was, which was actually sponsored by one of the Chinese brands, and just so happens, that the news or the content which got created was detrimental, to the whole idea of, the brand being there. I cannot believe that is something which you can control. I mean, if the sales, or the marketing or the editorial kind of works very closely, there's something which is which have a process in place. So it is not something which is uncontrollable. You don't know, when you in digital, for instance, you can put your ad, where it's going to be going, you kind of, you get information post. But on television, you can proactively be, if you have to kind of ensure and promise and commit brand safety to the brands, then you can put a whole process in place to ensure that you're able to offer that. I think that is something which is doable, something which is very easily kind of done. So I think from that point of view, if if channels kind of work in a particular way, they can definitely guarantee, say, content safety or brand safety for the brands. That's all I mean.
Correct. You today have, channels in various languages, specifically for various markets, and news is getting hyper local day by day. As that happens, how do you sustain or fuel that expansion process? Do you see more advertisers from those regions coming in for particularly those regions? What I mean to say is there regional advertising, geo-targeting, all that started to happen in news?
Absolutely. I mean, you see so many news channels. In fact, if you look at the count of the number of channels, which went down, I mean, it wasn't news at all. News actually kind of grew in terms of number of channels that they had, because there is a
Correct.
merit in being able to penetrate deeper down. People are kind of, wanting to look at, news from national point of view, but also from a local point of view. And therefore it becomes relevant for brands to kind of penetrate deeper, from a regional point of view. If you look at, for instance, in our own portfolio business, we have, our Hindi News, which is a national,
Yeah.
channel which reaches out to the country, and we have a set of advertisers. But I have very distinctive, unique advertisers, in my Ananda, which is
Yeah.
my leading channel, Bengali channel. And in
Correct.
fact, so there may be some national brands which are definitely there, but the dominant revenue or spends or the presence of the brands on the local marketplace is huge. Similarly, I would say that for Maja, so you get a lot of brands coming in from the rest of Maharashtra region. So therefore, I mean, so therefore, there's a huge amount of appeal in terms of affinity, because people want to kind of see news kind of it relates to them. There's so happening in every state. So why people want to be kind of cognizant of what's really happening nationally, but very, very well attuned to what's really happening at the local level. And therefore, the relevance of the regional channels becomes extremely prominent.
Okay. You mentioned AVP Ananda. I must salute your editor. He interviewed the chief minister with COVID while he was infected. It was
Absolutely. I
phenomenal.
mean,
It was phenomenal.
we could see it. I mean, he
Yeah,
was kind of there. He did not postpone it. We had him on board, and he wasn't well at all. I can tell you that.
absolutely. And it was one of the heated interviews where she wanted to walk away at least twice.
So
Well
he
done.
is, having said that, I just want to kind of make a point here, because, you've given me this cue. So Ananda, it really kind of enjoys almost 60% or more share, in terms of viewership. In fact, sometimes, and especially the COVID time, the first quarter of the last year, Ananda actually was garnering better numbers, than the GC channels also. So people,
Correct.
and right now, as we speak, I mean, it's almost like a parity with the way, movies and GC performs in West Bengal. It's a huge amount of pull. We have a bit of a competition there. You have
Yeah,
new players coming in, but
yeah.
frankly speaking, absolutely we haven't got affected at all. I mean, and Suman Dey, who is editor,
Yes.
he's extremely popular, very, very credible, huge opinion leader, and in terms of his views, people listen to him, follow him. So that's what I want to kind of put across. Yeah.
Great. There's a question that has come in. It is particularly for startups. So many startups like Swiggy and all, they now started warming up to advertising on television. Earlier they would focus only on digital. Do you see that happening more? More startups, warming up to advertising on news as a category?
Absolutely. If you look at it, most startups actually begin, advertising with news channels only. First of all, they get the relevant audiences. The reach is very, very high. The entry level cost is not so humongous as, because, and for instance, if for them to be able to kind of really see and figure out as to how, the startup is going to evolve as it goes along, it will become an extremely effective and impactful media platform to be in. And I'm increasingly, we have, in fact, we have a huge amount of list of startups who are anyway currently also in a portfolio, on the channel in the network.
Correct. Is real-time media planning and ad delivery a thing in TV news or TV advertising?
So I have good. Thank you for asking me that question.
Somebody asked the question. It's an anonymous attendee who has asked the
Thank you for
question.
answering that, asking that question. I mean, I cannot believe. First of all, the good news, like I said in the beginning, was TV is penetrating and growing faster. Moment the growth of a media happens, it also kind of fragments further. So the audiences get divided. News, for instance, we see also by the current BARC report, which has come on, saying that has actually kind of is the highest in terms of viewership growth, has huge affinity among set of audiences. I think the parameter or the measurement which is kind of used by media agencies, respective media agencies, and probably marketers obviously kind of go by that, is primarily on reach. I think it's very important, for a niche, and I would just not news, but also anything which is very specialized genre content, it's very important to do a more deep dive. I think instead of just looking demographically how the number is, for the particular channel, which is probably in terms of reach or even an average time spent, important to see psychographically, how does it kind of fit into the consumer that you are talking to. It most likely, if you do a bit of deep dive in terms of, really understanding, who your consumer is beyond the demographic, from a psychographic point of view, from a mind space point of view, and see how does it marry, to the content which the specialized channel kind of brings on the table. So it so may happen, that you probably, so for example, maybe in news itself, you have one channel which does about 90% reach. The other one does 80% reach, more about that much, You probably, if you're doing just a reach kind of, selection, or, and try to drive a media campaign, you probably will take the first channel. You may not take the second channel. But having said that, if you do maybe the content which the second channel has a lower reach, but probably from mindset point of view, from the content appeal point of view, it kind of applies and was more impactful and effective for your, what consumer that you're talking to would be the second one. So I think it's very important that, the planners and the marketers should spend a little bit more time deep diving into, especially when they're selecting, channels, in a very highly specialized genre content. And maybe they'll be able to probably make a much better decision. Also, I cannot believe, that, if you, there has to be a bit of more analysis and due diligence done, because you have a platform which is very high loyalty of viewers. So people who on news channels, are very stable and very sustained. In fact, if an ABP network is the most stable channel from a viewership and loyalty point of view, if you do a deep dive into the numbers, you'll see they all will find that out. And you have this very captured audience who's watching the content, and obviously makes a lot of opinions, by looking at the content. And if that is a forum that we are able to kind of, really engage one-on-one with that particular consumer who's so kind of, attentive, and maybe look at, channel beyond just putting a regular 30-second or FCT or maybe an Aston or an L band, and look at the platform integrating your content, and engaging, with that viewer, on one-on-one, probably will be far more impactful and a better way of kind of utilizing a more 360-degree way of actually kind of associating and being present on the, on the genre.
Correct. Great. Well put. Oh, we spoke about the importance of news at the very beginning, and when times are critical as we are in now, it becomes even more important. Oh, the onus is on you. Are you making enough money as a news network to sustain the growth of
not at all
reporters?
Absolutely not. If the fact of the matter is, that the whole conversation, actually, if it kind of revolves around rate, I think that's exactly what I said. The conversation on these kind of genres has to go beyond just about rate, Because the ROI is not only on what is the kind of CPRP that you're getting. I think that is the wrong way of looking at, news genre, or maybe I would say for some other news genres also. But
Should it go to CPM then? If CPRP, others are selling at CPM, so should you also start selling at CPM now? But should it go different the way the trading is happening?
I would say it's a rate that you kind of deserve for what you're really bringing on the table. CPM is another way of looking at measurement and tying yourself to a number. I would rather kind of keep it a little bit more broader and more from a strategic point of view. So even if, for instance, even the buying or negotiations happening, I think the buyer on the table should kind of marry what the strategic intent of having the particular genre and the channel is there in the media plan, and accordingly negotiate instead of making it a very mass, very generic kind of a negotiation, saying rate niche leke aana and all of that. I think the conversation has to go really beyond that. If one has to use that particular genre and medium effectively and efficiently, and obviously for making it very viable for a broadcaster to kind of put that content on air every day, real time,
Okay. If my last question to you, what is that one challenge that you think needs to be solved in next 1 year in order to ensure that news channels or news networks like ABP, they are getting more revenues out of it. They're getting it's not as under indexed as it is.
Exactly what I said. I will still again reiterate and news brings in, a lot of level of very highly engaged audiences. Especially times like this, it's always very, very relevant and always very viewed. Apart from everything else that they're kind of watching, there's so much of action happening. You have elections happening. There's a corona crisis happening. And one place that people want to kind of get and gather information really is the news channel. They may go to digital formats also, but that's kind of news also. I think it's important that, it should be looked at differently. They should not be the same measurement, yardstick that probably they use it for maybe other genres, which, and this is more looking at the fact that you're reaching out to consumer in a far more engaged, affinity way. And therefore, keep it apart, in terms of evaluation, and the KPIs are probably that you commit to the client differently, because otherwise I kind of believe you'll be unjust to the client and the brand campaigns if you're not using it the way it should be used. Every genre has its own use and role to play. I think in each genre, therefore, the buying or the, or the measurement also has to be kind of shifted and not the same.
Okay, I thought you would say social media is a challenge, but you didn't say that.
No, I didn't. Social media.
In terms of getting money out of advertisers.
Social, yes. I mean, the social media is not really a challenge. I would say that it kind of, works. I think TV and, digital are, working in a very integrated way. I think Wiki report says very clearly, that there has to be much more multimedia campaigns. You cannot kind of rely on one and not the other. Everybody has to have a balance, combination of media mix, and that's important. I think apart from just kind of reach numbers, what the role each media has, plays in terms of the brand campaign is very important to understand, and therefore they kind of work side by side together. I can't say one over the other.
Great, great. That's the time that we have today. Can we have the AV, please? There's a short AV that we'll play.
न पाबंदी हो न कोई हद हो तो बस खुद बनाई सरहद हो। ये मुहिम है परतों में छिपे हर सच की तलाश की, सियासत पर रखी पैनी नजर और आंख की, खबरों की दुनिया में एक जिम्मेदार आवाज की, जुर्म और जुल्म के खिलाफ हर बेबस के लिए इंसाफ की। जब कोई हद नहीं इंसानियत के लिए जज्बात की, जब कोई हद नहीं खुशियों और ख्वाब की, तब कोई हद क्यों हो नए नजरिए और बदलाव की। तोड़ के हदों के ताले नए सपनों को पाले, बांधे सबको एक धागे, आपको रखे आगे। एबीपी न्यूज।
Thank you very much.
I just want to add one thing, since you spoke about Suman, and I think it's very important to kind of tell the audience that, the news channel kind of, and the way in the kind of, circumstances, the kind of environment and the kind of way, the news anchors are kind of working, on the ground, bringing in the news. I know a lot of people probably are infected with corona, in our existing system, yet, they're kind of working 24/7. We don't have the luxury of, stopping, production of serials and episodes and all of that. I mean, people are on 24/7, and so that's what really the news channel kind of brings on the table for the viewers, and therefore accordingly, one has to evaluate, the genre.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very nicely put. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Anirban. Thank you so much. Thank you.